that it? There we go, look at that. We good? We good? We're good. Hi guys, it's me, Adam Garrett, and welcome back to the channel where you can watch me make you some delicious food. Kind of thinking of ditching the slogan. I don't know, it just seems a bit cheesy, a bit cringy. But I don't know how else to introduce the video, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm just waffling. I am waffling. Yes, I'm definitely waffling. But anyway, on to the video. Today I'm going to make for you a spicy pork ragu. Now there's no way I'm going to claim that this is an authentic Italian ragu, right? Because it's not, all right? I would say it's more Italian inspired. Because I don't want people in the comments going, this is all wrong, this is stupid, you don't know what you're doing. Now this is one of those recipes that you can do midweek. You get home from work, kids are running around, you need to get the washing on, you've got so much to do, you can just bung this all in a pan and it can be as quick as you want it to be. If you need it to be done in half an hour, 45 minutes, you can. But if you need to kind of let it trickle away for a bit while you get other stuff done, you can as well. Just turn the heat down, let it trickle away, it's done when you want it. Right, so without further ado, let's crack on with this. If you look down below in the description, as always, you'll get all the ingredients that you need. And the first thing we need to do is season the pork. Right, okay, here we have our really good quality minced pork. You can see how nice and fatty that is, nice meat content as well. And it's really worth going to your butchers for it because you're going to get a much better quality product and in the end, a much better quality dish. So what we're going to do is season this up. So we're going to go in with the dry stuff first. It's got some smoked paprika here. Use smoked because it gives a nice barbecuey sort of flavour. And I've got some really good quality stuff here. And I'm going to go in with about a teaspoon. Let's get that in. Also some cayenne pepper. Now I'm going to be a bit careful with this because for those of you who don't know, my granddad was in hospital last week. He had to have a pacemaker fitted. He's 92, so I was all a bit worried about him. So I don't want to make this too spicy for him. So I'm going to go in with only about 1/4 teaspoon. If you're going to make this for yourself, I would go in with about half. Okay, so go in with about 1/4 teaspoon. Next, I'm going to add some fennel seeds. And I'm going to go in with about 2 teaspoons. Put the lot in. Now we need to add some salt and pepper because remember, this is just plain pork. You need to get salt and pepper in there. Good few grinds of a pepper mill and a good pinch of salt as well. Now what you can do to adjust your seasonings is mix it all together, pinch off a piece, fry it off, taste it. If you want more of something else, you can add it in then. So that's our dry ingredients. The next thing we need to do is add some garlic. I've got 4 cloves here because I'm going to use 2 in the dish itself and 2 in the actual mince. Now I like garlic, so I'm using quite a bit, but if you don't want so much, then just use less. These are quite sort of big cloves, so I'm going to grate those in. It's better to mince the garlic because if you slice it, you're going to have big chunks in there and you don't really want that. So one thing I did forget is the nutmeg, so I'm going to wash this off, wash my hands, and we can grate that in. Now you can just use powdered nutmeg, but the problem is it's a bit trash. So I've got some nutmeg there and I'm going to grate some of that in. About 1/4 teaspoon. Right, so that's all the spices, the garlic, everything else added to the pork. Now we need to mix it up. Right, so we've got our pork mixture here, and the best thing to mix this up with is your hands. You just want to get in there, get it all mixed up. Now take some care with it. You don't want to mix this too much into a paste. You want to keep that texture still. So just kind of work it through with your fingertips, make sure everything is evenly combined. Okay, right, so that's everything all mixed up. But what I need to do now is get on and prep the veg. Right, so as you can see, we've got our veg here and it's the usual suspect. We've got carrot, onion and celery. It's the base for any good Italian ragu or any kind of meat-based sauce. It's fantastic. We've got some garlic as well. What I'm going to do is get this peeled, slice it all up, and you want it nice and fine because this is going to be quite a quick dish. You don't want big chunks in there. So I'm going to do that. Once it's done, we can start cooking. Right, so now the prep is done, we are ready to rock and roll, guys. Now, I can only apologise in advance if you hear lots of building works going on, lots of drilling, lots of hammering, because, you know, story my freaking life, they've decided to do some stuff out the back. But anyway, that's real life, we've got to deal with it. So, what I'm going to do is, I've got a nice deep pan here, I'm going to add a generous glug of olive oil, extra virgin of course. And I'm just going to get the pan onto a medium-high heat. And as the pan gets nice and hot, we're going to start adding the pork mince. Now all I'm going to do is just take off pieces like that and just crumble it in. Just add it to the pan. We are going to break it up a bit more as it cooks, but this just kind of helps start it off. And once you've added all the pork, you just kind of taking a wooden spoon, just smush it around a bit. And I'm going to lovingly tend to this for about another couple of minutes till it's nice and golden brown. So after a couple of minutes, you can see I've got some nice colour just starting to get on there. Now there is some fat in there. If you're worried about that, you can drain it off. I'm not going to because it's bloody delicious. Next thing, add the veg, the carrot, onion and the celery. And I've turned the heat right down as well now, guys, because we don't want to kind of burn the veg. So get that in. And what we're going to do here is to start softening the carrot, onion and celery. That's why you need a low heat, so it doesn't burn. So I'm going to leave that for about 5-10 minutes, nice and gently, just stirring occasionally, just until that veg starts to get nice and soft. Right, so it's been about 10 minutes now and these veggies are starting to go nice and soft. So what I'm going to do now is add the garlic, which I've finely chopped there. We don't add it in earlier on because it has a tendency to burn, so we add it in now. Let's get that in. 3 bay leaves here, 3 small bay leaves, use 2 larger ones. Just scrunch them up a bit, get them in. And I've got some fresh thyme. Now, if you want to pick all the leaves off and kind of add it that way, by all means do, but I'm kind of thinking of quickness here, so no one's got time to faff about picking off all the thyme leaves. So, little kitchen hack for you, get a bunch of it, tied up with a piece of string, plop it in, then you can just fish it out at the end. Next, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, or puree. And what we want to do is cook this tomato paste out for a few minutes, because if you don't, it can make your dish taste bitter and a bit tinny. So just mix that all through, cook it out for a couple of minutes, just to take out that rawness. Right, so okay, so we've cooked out that tomato paste. The next thing we're going to do is add some stock. Now I've got one of these Knorr jelly pots here. It's chicken stock, just because they're easy and they're really tasty too. So I'm just going to open that up, going to plop it in. Now of course you can make up your own chicken stock if you so wish. Just going to start melting that through. And what I've got here is a tin of Italian cherry tomatoes. Try and get these because they're sweeter and much nicer for something like this. If you can get San Marzano tomatoes, then great. If you can't, just get a tin of normal chopped tomatoes and just add a pinch of sugar. Just going to open these up, whack them all in, and the next thing I'm going to add is some water. And I want just enough to cover it. Mix it around. You don't want it swimming, you don't want loads of water, but we do need to dilute that stock. I'd say, yeah, about 500 ml is about right. But just remember, if you're making the stock up beforehand, it's 500 ml of stock. Now what you need to do now is let it bubble away for about 45 minutes on a medium-low heat until that sauce is reduced and it's ready to go. And if you need to leave it longer, that's absolutely fine. You can turn the heat down to nice and low, just leave it uncovered on the back burner, let it trickle away. You know, if you've got to get the kids sorted, you've got to get a load of washing in, you want to watch something on TV, it's going to be absolutely fine. And about 10 minutes before you're ready to eat, get your pasta on, get it cooked, and then we can finish this off. You might be thinking, well, what does a YouTube cook do for 45 minutes whilst he's waiting for his food to cook? Well, same as everybody else. Lots of waiting, stirring, more waiting, stir some more, looking confused into the void, wondering what your life would have been like growing on an Italian vineyard, picking grapes with the sun on your back, sipping high-class Russian vodka. Oh, that's smooth. I'll give the cat a treat if he deserves it. Shouting at the builders out the back because they're making too much noise. I don't do that. I don't do that because they have got a job to do. All right.
Doesn't stop me being annoyed though.
Anyway, after that, I think it's time to get the pasta on. Right, so the ragu is pretty much there. It's almost done. So now I need to get the pasta on. Now I'm using mezzi rigatoni, which is like normal rigatoni, but about half the size in length. But you can use whatever pasta you like, really. Tagliatelle, fettuccine, penne, fusilli, anything like that will be fine. So the water is boiling and there's plenty of salt in there. An old saying is that the water should be as salty as the Bay of Naples, so make sure there's plenty in there. And I'm going to add the pasta. So I'm going to cook this pasta for about 10-11 minutes, just until it's nice and al dente, and then we can finish this off, mix it all together, and add the finishing touches. So I'll see you folks in a bit. Right, this puppy is pretty much done. What I need to do though is fish out that thyme and those bay leaves, because I am sure my granddad doesn't want to go chomping on those. Now as you can see, that sauce is nice and reduced. You don't want it too watery because it's just going to taste insipid. And what I've got here is some fresh basil leaves, just a small bunch. Just tear them off into the pan. Don't need to worry about slicing it, chopping it, it's all kind of rustic stuff. And now we're going to add some Parmesan cheese. Right, use the proper stuff, guys. Don't use that stuff that comes in a cardboard tub down the spice aisle. It is trash, all right? And we're adding this now because Parmesan is quite salty. So once we've mixed this in and tasted it, we can see if it needs any salt. Mix that all through. I'm just going to get a spoon and give it a quick taste. It's delicious. Doesn't need any salt. So now I'm going to add the pasta. Just going to spoon it out. Just add it to the pan. Doesn't matter if you get a bit of the water in there, that's absolutely fine, and in fact essential. And let's get all that mixed in, because you want all that ragu to soak in, flavour the pasta, get stuck in those little holes, so that every bite is the same. And then we have it, guys, that is our pork ragu done. So what I'm going to do is plate this up, finish it off with a bit of fresh Parmesan, a bit of fresh basil. We'll have a bit of a taste. I'm not going to eat all of it, because obviously most of this is for my granddad, but we do want to give it a taste. So I'll see you folks in a bit. There it is. Focus in on there. Lovely, delicious pork ragu. And the beauty about rigatoni is it's really good for a meat-based sauce because you get the sauce kind of gets trapped inside the hole, so you get a nice bit of sauce in every bite. So let's give this puppy a try. So good. And like I said, you can knock this up 45 minutes, an hour, and it's going to taste incredible. That pasta is still nice and al dente and just a little bit of heat. But like I said earlier, most of this is for my granddad, so I don't want it to be too hot. And you've got to be careful with cayenne pepper because it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Right? It will bite you in the backside if you use too much, so use it with caution anyway. But I'm not actually finished because if you notice at the back here, all this stuff, I've got some parsnips, some shallots, you know, there's some more carrots and stuff. I'm actually going to make him a beef stew as well. So he's doing all right, isn't he? Doing all right. But anyway, that's this episode wrapped up. Hope you enjoyed it. A really simple pork ragu. But again, really simple to make. You can batch cook it. Any leftovers you got, you can freeze it, and you've got a meal for another day. Thanks again for watching. If you liked it, please stick a like down below. Share it far and wide. And again, if you stick around at the end, you'll see some links to some more videos. And my face will be up there. If you click it, you can subscribe. And I'll see your gorgeous faces in the next video. And bye for now.